Hey, who would you talk to? What's going on? It's Mike Lepre, King Mike L. Legit Fantasy Basketball. Brought to you by LegitFantasySports.com. He was gone, but now he's back again with me. Brother Ray. Brother Ray, how are you on this Thursday night for basketball?
Excellent, King. Had a little time off, able to recharge the batteries, come back ready to take on the world, dude.
Yeah, you came back. We're doing well. The channel's hopping. We got like over 4,000 P followers on Instagram. I don't even know how to work that thing, but they want to hear it. They want to see the pics. It would take a genius to figure out Instagram. And speaking of that, the genius Kev. How are you, Kev?
Hey, King, good. The mysteries of Instagram are beyond me also. But hey, if the followers are going up, we're doing something right. I'm not gonna argue with it.
No.
Well, welcome back, Brother Ray. It's been tough competing with TJ, or I shouldn't say competing, keeping up with TJ without you around, because guy knows his stuff. I can't wait to get him back very soon. Also,
Absolutely, yeah. He's a wealth of information.
Yeah, he is. He is. I like the way he looks at it too.
yeah.
Like, as a coach, like I can hear the gears click when he starts to talk about stuff like that. Guys, so what I wanted to start off with was this. I thought that the three of us, we got a genius, a king, and Brother Ray, start our own teams, right? We're gonna pick team names, cities. Let's start with cities. Brother Ray, what city? You get first pick on a city. It's got to be within the United States. It's got to be a real city. No curse words.
Vegas.
You want to be Las Vegas.
I know Genius was thinking Vegas. Everyone's thinking Vegas.
Genius, I'll let you go second. What city is your team from?
He stole it fucking right out from under me. It's like I'm in a corrupted football league draft. I can't. Damn it. Well, with Vegas gone, I'm gonna have to take an easy way out here. I'm gonna have to go with New York. No, I'm gonna go. I'll go with I'll go with New York.
New York. Ha. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Wow. That's a tough one for me now because I don't want to go to Boston. No. I don't like Boston. I almost want to go to New Jersey, but that's not where's there to go in New Jersey. I don't want to go down to Miami. Although Miami wouldn't be that bad to hang out at night. Although San Diego would be beautiful too. Austin, I don't know. What's a good city to go to, guys? Help me out here. I want to go someplace that's like.
Well, I don't think you're gonna have fun in San Diego. I think that might be a little too buttoned up for you. Miami, I think you could work in. I had
fun in Miami last time I went.
Yeah, I think you could settle in Miami nicely. I think in 2 weeks we'd lose track of you forever, but it would probably be an amazing 2 weeks.
All right, I'm gonna go Miami anyways. So now it's gonna go in reverse with us naming our teams. So I'll pick first. That's easy. It's the Miami Kings.
Oh, you're stealing my. Look at this. You're stealing my team, my fantasy football team name that I've had for 22 years at this point.
May I suggest geniuses?
I think the plural of genius is like genii or something, some bullshit like that.
It don't matter. It's just funny though. May I suggest geniuses?
Yes, I'll take it.
The New York geniuses. That'd be great. You should have like the spinning atom looking symbol. Mark or whatever. You get that?
Yeah, and the best thing is it's not the plural. It's actually GENII, which makes it even better. So we'll go with geniuses.
Ray, the Las Vegas.
I'd say the Las Vegas, maybe Blackjacks or Rollers. Maybe the Rollers, the Las Vegas Rollers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Brother Ray won the naming contest. I want to play for the Vegas Rollers.
All right. Kev, I'll let you go first on this one. Who's your head coach?
My
All
head
time.
coach. Oh, I have to go with Red Auerbach. Come on.
Wow. Coach of the New York Geniuses. Red Auerbach. Ray, you can go next.
I'm going to pick a coach who never coached in the pros. I'm going to pick John Wooden.
Oh, wow. Ray, have you done this before? This what you've been thinking about for the last couple of weeks?
Phil Jackson will be the head coach for the Miami Kings.
All right. Phil.
All right. So now we're gonna get our starting. We're gonna go 8 players. We'll go 8 deep, right? That way you get 5 starters. You get a backup guard, forward, and center, or whatever you want to do with it. But we'll give you get 8 players. That was my hat. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Point guard, shooting guard. So, guys, we're going to do this old school, meaning you got to pick a point guard, a shooting forward, a power forward, and a center first. And then you can pick the other 3. But you got to pick the positions and fill out a whole squad. You can't be like, I'll just take this guy and make him play. No. He's got to be a guy that plays that position. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
All right. Point guard, shooting forward, power forward, center. How should we do this as far as order, Kev?
Well, we have to. This has to be random. Like we can't. We can't just pick them.
I can pull up a thing that rolls dice.
Yeah, just do that. That's fine.
There's an app for that. I did it for when we played. Whatchamacallit? Hold on. Come on now. Where is the dice? What the fuck is that? All right, we use this. It's weirding me out, but we'll use that. Hold on, guys. It's scary as all hell. Screen, there's screen. Then you guys want to see the one that says, there you go. Add a baby. You guys can see that, right? All right. So I guess I hit this, and it rolls 2 dice. Oh, I can make it flip a coin. I think this is a coin. Monkey and a smiley face. Monkey, smiley face. By the way, someone's gonna tune in and they're gonna hear monkey.
Yeah, what is
smiling face. What?
So what is going on? Monkey, smiley face.
Yeah, one side of the coin's a monkey, one side's a smiley face. So you're gonna call monkey or smiley face. I'll flip the coin, and then we'll see who goes first, right? Or do you want to roll dice?
I don't care. I can do monkey.
Probably dice would be better, right? Because there's 3 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, just pick whoever gets the highest number, obviously.
All right. So, all right. We'll go 3, 2. I'll do it like I did about thing. I'm going to count down from 3, 2 to 1. Kev, you're going first. This is your number. Ready? 3, 2, 1. A 3. Ray, this is you. 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
No.
again.
3, 2, 1. All right, so it's gonna. Then we have to snake it. It'll go Kev. It'll go Ray, Kev, me, Kev, Ray. You know what I mean? Snake order, back and forth. Ray, you go first.
All right, so we're doing a starting 5, right?
Yeah.
All right, let me just do this. All right, Jordan.
You starting with a shooting guard, right? Jordan.
Jordan, yep.
All right, Kev.
Like I'm gonna go with someone that we talked a lot about last time. I'm gonna go with Wilt.
Nice.
Kev goes with Chamberlain. To start it out. All right. I'm gonna go with. I go 2 in a row. So my shooting forward is Larry Bird. My shooting guard is Kobe Bryant.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Hold on. So you said Bird, Kobe. All
We
right.
don't
So
need the dice anymore.
back to me. All right. I'm gonna. So what are we gonna say for LeBron? Can I go
Power forward?
No, definitely he's not power forward.
Shooting forward, I mean. I meant shooting forward. That's what I would consider him. I think you have
Probably maybe 3 or 4, I would think.
3.
3?
Yes,
All right.
3.
Size.
Shooting forward.
All right, I'll go LeBron.
All right.
All right, I'm going with
Bryant
Magic.
to Chamberlain. That's nice.
Oh, that's a good one. Raising
Right?
his backcourt set.
Magic.
2 in a row. All
Why
right.
did
You
2
get
in a row?
Johnson and Jordan. Yeah, because
All right,
Johnson and
so,
Jordan.
yeah,
as your
so
guards.
Magic,
Jordan.
Magic, and Kareem.
Wow. Johnson, Jordan, and Jabbar. Kev?
All right, so I got Wilt, I got LeBron. So I need a shooting guard and I need a power forward. All right, so hold on a second. Sorry. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do. Is Tim Duncan gonna be a power forward, right?
Yeah.
All right, Duncan. I'm loving this team. Exactly what I want.
All right. I got 2 in a row. I'm going to take Olajuwon as my center.
Nice.
Gee Louise on that one. Bryant, Olajuwon, Bird. I'm going to go Dennis Rodman at power forward.
Oh man.
Kev?
Back to me. All right, so I got to get a shooting guard now.
Point guard or shooting guard? That's what you got left.
All right,
Point
so
guard, shooting
I'm
guard.
gonna go. I'm gonna go. Oscar Robertson. Are we gonna say point guard or shooting guard?
Big O.
Big O is a point guard.
All right, perfect.
Right? 2 in a row. To finish your team, actually, you 2 forwards.
All right. Russell's a center, right?
Yes.
Okay. He's a center, right?
Yeah, Russell
Yeah.
can't play that for those positions.
All right. I'm going to go with Charles Barkley,
Oh boy.
Power forward?
power forward.
Yeah.
Now, small forward, it's going to be tough.
You with Dr. J?
No, I could go with. I'm going with Dr. J.
Irving would be sweet right there at the shooting forward. Kev, your shooting guard?
We're gonna say, what do you have for Jerry West? Shooting guard or point guard?
Point guard.
Another point.
Oh, come on.
Because that's what he's a symbol. He is the point guard symbol, bringing the ball up. I give you one, Kev.
What?
I give you a great one.
Give me a suggestion.
Iverson.
Who?
I put AI in that team.
No, fuck AI. I don't like him.
Oh, dude, he'd go off with those big guys.
Yeah.
He'd score so many points, Kev. On that team. He would.
I'm looking at my list of players that I like. I'm thinking, Rick Barry's a shooting guard, right? I don't know if he would fit with the personality though.
Yeah, Rick Barry.
Rick Barry, yeah. You can't go wrong there. Or
Yeah.
the Iceman. The Iceman, too.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna keep it. I think Gervin fits the style more than Rick Barry. We're gonna go with Gervin.
And for point guard, I'm gonna go with Stockton.
Yeah, he was my second one.
Yeah, he's great. Great. So underrated, too.
All right, so here's our starting fives. For the Las Vegas Rollers, you got starting at the point guard, Magic Johnson. Shooting guard, Michael Jordan. Shooting forward, Julius Irving. Power forward, Charles Barkley. And at center, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh,
All right, what are our thoughts about that starting five? Let's be honest. Incredible guards, like that's what jumps to me. Like it's incredible the guard work. I don't know. What do you think, Kev?
I love it. I mean, I like that combination of Magic, Jordan, and Dr. J would just be kind of sick to watch. I love it. I absolutely love it. And with this amount of talent, Barkley and who's your center, Kareem. They're no slouches either. But those point guard, shooting guard, and small forward are phenomenal.
All right, moving on to the New York Geniuses. Point guard, Oscar Robertson. Shooting guard, George Gervin. At shooting forward, LeBron James. Power forward, Tim Duncan. And at center, Wilt Chamberlain. All right, to me, the bigs, the three bigs, the front court of Chamberlain, James, and Duncan, that's a brutal front court to have to face. They're just so big. Like all three of those guys are just so long and big that it'd be really hard to guard them down low, right?
Yeah, my two favorite ones there are obviously the Big O, so underrated in what he did. Coming in as a rookie too, he dominated right off the start. And Wilt, I mean, like the most dominant basketball player of all time. I mean, most physically dominant player of all time. No one will ever score 100 points again, ever.
Nope. Agreed.
All right, I'm going to give my starting lineup. After I give mine, what I want to do really quickly is I just want to ask a couple questions about like why you pick certain players at certain spots and like what the goal your team plan was. Point guard, I had John Stockton. All right, first it's the Miami Kings, which sounds like could be a real name. At point guard, John Stockton. Shooting guard, Kobe Bryant. Center, shooting forward, Larry Bird. Power forward, Dennis Rodman. Center, Hakeem Olajuwon. See, love that team. Ray, your thoughts?
I mean, Larry Bird. I mean, I've seen Michael Jordan play and I've seen Larry Bird play. I've never seen anyone better than Larry Bird. I'm being completely honest, and I hated him as a Sixer fan, but I think he's the best player I've ever seen, Larry Bird. And I know everyone's going to say Jordan's the best player of all time, but Bird, for me, it's Bird.
Kev?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, all these teams are like just superstar loaded, but having someone like Rodman who, in his prime would just shut the F up, didn't want the ball, rebound, gives you, at least a chance to spread the ball around to everybody else. I love Stockton. I've always loved his game. No arguing with Larry Bird. I think Brother Ray, last week we were talking about players from that era. The thing with Bird is with him, you never felt like a game was lost. Like if it was close, you thought there was always some magic he could pull out of the hat. And it was just you just had a different way about him. The game was just so fluid.
Dominant. Yeah, he dominated every aspect of the game, mentally, anything, passing, scoring, could take it to the hole, did everything, got inside people's heads.
Yep.
I mean, how many game winners did he hit? I mean, everyone talks about Steph Curry now. I understand, but unless you've seen Larry Bird, I mean, he's the best.
All right, so let's go over the draft, right? Let's see. I think it was Ray. Ray, you went first. Obviously, you take Jordan, right? That's your thought process. Explain to me though, like how you see your team playing. The vision for your team.
I tried to take players I thought that could play in today's NBA too. That were also flexible, like position flexible. Jordan can, he can take the ball up. He can be, he's a traditional 2. He can mix it in at 6'6" as a 3 if he has to. Kareem, I thought, he's one of the most skilled centers of all time. That's the way I look at him. He can move up and down the floor. He's got a variety of post moves. He's not going to hurt you at the free throw line. And his defense is underrated. Barkley, I took him again because he's versatile too. As far as position, he was only 6'4", but he was as good a 4 as there is. Can rebound, strength at rebounding, and got better as he got along as far as driving to the hole. Really good in transition. Who else? Dr. J. Enough said. He's my sports hero. I mean, Dr. J is the North Star for me. That's why my favorite number is 6. I could go on and on for hours about Dr. J. But again, flexible, can rebound, can really do it all. A really good defensive player, and exciting. Who am I missing?
You had Jordan. Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson. I mean, probably the best distributor I've ever seen. Showtime. I mean, can you imagine that fast break with Magic Johnson, Dr. J on the wing,
and Jordan Miller,
and Jordan? Unbelievable.
And Barkley trailing.
Yeah, and we know he can get up and down the floor too. So,
all right, moving on to the New York Geniuses. Kev, run me through this draft. You started with Chamberlain. You started dominant, right? You didn't even start with LeBron, which is weird, but he came back to you.
Yeah, you know me, King. I like big guys. I like bangers, and I like players that are just completely physically dominant. And that's what I tried to do with most of the players on the team. Like Wilt was an easy one for me, just because, like Brother Ray said, like we said last week, most dominant player in history, and we all kind of said we think he could probably still play today. Maybe he'd have to take his conditioning a little more seriously. Not try to keep the number of women he was with under 10,000. But I think he could probably, I think he could definitely dominate today. So he was an easy one. And what I tried to do with all the other positions was get players that are matchup problems, like Oscar Robertson 6'5", Gervin 6'7", LeBron 6'9". There's nobody on there that that isn't versatile, isn't tall, isn't strong. So I tried to get like a team that would like Brother Ray said, different players can do different things, because LeBron still brings the ball up the court. Gervin averaged career 25 points a game scorer, 12-time All-Star, so he's going to be just tearing it up from there. And then you got Big O, who did what Russell Westbrook is doing for an entire season, but no one thought he was a complete. No one looked at him the same way they look at Westbrook. I mean, Westbrook's on his 3rd or 4th team already. With Robertson, all they say is good things. So I tried to get that kind of mix of intimidating talent, and versatility.
I feel like their basketball IQ would be very high on the court, because Duncan and Chamberlain and James are all very cerebral, and so is Gervin and
that's Stockton, I'm sure. Gervin, the Iceman, was a prolific scorer. I mean, he was in the ABA with Doc. I mean, he invented the finger roll. I mean, he's the one that invented it. Unbelievable scorer. Probably one of the best scorers of all time.
Yeah.
It is. I wonder who, though. I see Kev's team being able to go at Ray's team down low, attack them in those blocks. But I think that if it ends up in transition, Kev, you'd be in trouble. I think you'd be in trouble keeping up with his team if the game became like one of those type of trick games.
Yeah.
Because that can't happen in a game. You might, once you get behind, everyone starts running. The big guys, if they have to run the whole time, there's nothing they can do. All right, so my Miami Kings. How can I explain it? I took arguably the best point guard of all time in John Stockton. I went role players. Who's a point guard? Who do I think of? John Stockton. shooting guard, who's one I think of almost immediately. For me, Kobe Bryant, right? Shooting forward, Larry Bird, right? Power forward. For me, it's immediately like the same thing all the time. Rodman. Why? Because to me, at the 4, that's the guy that I want to get rebounds. If the way I see my old school basketball team working is the 1 has to be the guy that distributes and can hit the open jumper when it swings back to him. The 2 has to be able to score, either whether he's catching the ball and spotting up, or he's creating something on his own and getting to the hole. Same thing goes with the 3, in my opinion. Shooting forward, the same thing. He just works more lower. Like he'll drive across, he'll cut across, try to catch it, lay it in. With Bird and Kobe Bryant, I got 2 guys that if either one of them gets hot, throw with that one guy. You know what I mean? And then with Rodman at power forward, he just does all the dirty work, right? He's every night he's going to get all the boards. And then I have, again, arguably one of the best centers, Hakeem Olajuwon, in the sense that he loved to get people on the blocks and make them look stupid. So I got like an old school team. So I don't know if I could keep up with Ray in transition, and I don't know if I could really bang with Kev down low. Like I would have to play a real good flex type offense and just, you know what I mean, get my guys open and shit like that. What do you guys think?
I like your analysis. I like your team. Like you said, they all fit the right role. Because whenever you put these teams together, it's like, who knows how the hell they would actually work, because every guy on there is a 30-point a game scorer for most of my guys and most of Ray's guys. So how does it all work together is going to be the interesting thing. But I like your analysis.
Yeah. I like the personality the teams take. Go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, and the way Rodman fits in. I mean, Rodman is the ultimate eraser. So that's someone that you put on, the team's best scorer, and he just shuts him down. And he's going to fit in. He's going to distribute the ball. So, I mean, you have players like Stockton and Bird. You have Akeem, who, I mean, could do it all. I mean, he had a really decent shot, too. And he was dominant. I mean, defensively, one of the best shot blockers there was. I mean, even in college, Phi Slamma Jamma with Houston. So, no, I mean, I think your team fits really well, King. I think the way the pieces fit together, I mean, that sounds like a team, not just a bunch of all-time greats.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's fun to. We were saying last week, we still think of teams as positions. Like not the new NBA just has players. They're all the same height. They all kind of technically play the same position. I mean, you play like fantasy basketball now. Instead of like clicking on a guy and it says that he played like maybe like center and power forward, it'll say like point guard, shooting guard, shooting forward, power forward, center, and like all these things the guy does. They all play every position. Like that's what it's become. So it's like we were talking about how we enjoy seeing basketball where everybody plays their role. The point guard's the point guard. You know what he does? He dribbles the ball up court. He makes sure he passes it around. You know what I mean? All the way to the 5. It's Kev. You think it's just because it's simpler to do it that way, and it's that we do it, or do you think it's just like this thing about basketball that we know that it works that way? So it's like, why not do it that way?
See,
how to explain? I'm trying to like get the.
It's been the way we look at it forever, right? Up until the last 5 or 10 years, and then analytics took over, and it became, look, if you do the math out, you're better off shooting a 3 than a mid-range jumper. If you do the math out, pick and rolls, you put some guy who can't switch, and that works better. You score more. If you do the math, your big should be in the corner, or somewhere outside, forcing the other guy's big to come out with you. But then you end up with a court with 4 guys around the 3-point line, maybe one guy down low, maybe, and then all you're doing is clearing for either isolation drives or jump shots, 3-point jump shots. And I don't really. I'm having a hard time. I'm liking the game more because I'm watching it more, but I still miss offensive plays where you had somebody on the block and they'd come up and screen, or you get it to McHale in the post or Olajuwon and watch them do their thing. I miss it. Like even like I mentioned it before the show, Zion's coming on strong, but he's at his best when he's point Zion. Can you imagine fucking like point Barkley? It's not like it doesn't fit. So I'm trying to get my head around it, and I'm starting to understand more why the math works. But like, I don't know if I really would prefer this to kind of where we were. I like the roles. I like the fact that you could kind of make a career out of like, not being just having really good footwork and rebounding, playing defense. Even if you were slightly slower than some of the other guys, you can't do it anymore. You're exposed because they'll do a pick and roll. You try to switch and you get smoked.
You don't have to, right? The week you weren't here, we talked about like these 8 basketball players that I brought up, and Kev, TJ, and myself had these long talks about these players. Where I bet Kev, you watch more video on these guys after that conversation because I did.
Yeah.
Like I ended up missing the old times after that conversation we had because we talked about like just like certain players from the times that we missed, like Dr. J and whatnot, and how good they really were. And then I caught myself YouTubing and going down the rabbit hole of just like watching how they used to play in old games. They were just like, it's like we're talking about how the new kids, they take days off, rest days, they have rest days in their you know what I mean? That's what they do. And you go back, these guys wanted to play every game. Larry Bird did not want to miss a game.
Yeah.
Kids don't understand that.
And King, I was listening to something last night when I was driving back to New York about like the Ball brothers. They have that old school mentality, and like New Orleans is worried about Lonzo, and Charlotte's worried about LaMelo because they're like they don't want to take days off. And like the trainers are like, you need to to make maximum this efficiency level, whatever, you need to take prescribed rest days and all. They don't want to do it. They want to fucking play basketball is what they want to do. And like it's almost a knock now. And the same thing with like LeBron. He has his own training staff. He knows Anthony Davis is out. He knows he's got to shoulder more of the load. His team is like, you got to take more rest games. And he's like, but we're going to lose the game. If I'm out and Davis is out, we're going to lose. And like they don't. It's weird the mentality, that old school mentality versus the way the training staffs have brought it up, have brought it forward.
Well, where do you stand with that? Like, how do you feel about the whole rest days? What would you do if you're the owner or the coach? Where would you go? Like, what side of the fence would you fall?
Is that for Genius or for me?
All right, for Kev.
Well, that's the worst part about it. If I were a coach or an owner, especially an owner, you have to view these guys as assets, and you want to maximize the length of the asset. So dropping a game in September or October, or what do we have now? March, the schedule's messed up. But dropping a game now doesn't mean that much. But it does do something, I think, to the competitive nature of the game because, you may stretch a guy's career out a little longer, but when those games you guys dropped, you say it doesn't really matter, but if your seeding drops from a 2nd to a 4 and, or 3 to a 5, and now you're starting on the road versus at home, it doesn't have impact. I think it does, especially, I think there's something to be said for mental toughness. I think it makes people rally, but you are depreciating, to be totally like an accountant, you are depreciating the life of the asset.
Ray, would you stay analytical like that? Like, or would you be old school?
I think the NBA, has created this problem with these rest days and trying to rest people. I mean, you look at what the Lakers did last year. They proved that works. People, they basically everybody took nights off. The regular season was a joke. And then as soon as playoff time, everybody was ready. And you know what? Give them credit. They rested their key players. They won a championship. So I guess at the end of the day, great, you win a championship. But what about those NBA fans that spend all that money one night a year to go see your team play?
That's what I was just thinking.
And then there's no LeBron or there's no, there's no Embiid. And these guys are just sitting down. There's no Jimmy Butler.
And they don't even care. But they don't even care even if they're playing. If they're playing, they don't really care anymore. I hate to say that. That makes me sound like a horrible NBA fan. But I just feel like sometimes, like they don't care about the regular season. It's not live or die anymore. They don't take it that serious, these games, like they were taken. Like, I'm not making it up. Allen Iverson, he took every game serious.
Yeah.
He did. Like that's not a lie. That's not It's not like in my day. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
Who's like that now?
Yeah, and Brother Ray, what you said is entirely true with the Lakers, but look at the year before with the Raptors. What did Kawhi play? 50 games in the regular season, maybe 60? So he did it, and it goes back to the Spurs. Pop started this in the modern NBA. He was resting guys all the time, and they were winning their championships, and so you can't. It's hard to argue with it, but as a fan, it's tough because we still think every game matters, and it's not true. It's just
they
not
don't.
True.
Yeah, I mean that's an awful feeling to know that you go to a game, and it does not matter to these players. They don't care.
I mean, I love Sam Hinkie, but I would not have wanted to be a season ticket holder during Sam Hinkie's time with the Sixers. Are you kidding me? I mean, the team is actively tanking. How can you be a season ticket holder? What are you watching? Like, that's going to change. Like, there needs to be more emphasis on winning, on going out there and doing your best to win a game, I think.
Yeah.
I bet we get great seats, though, if we bought them now. With the Sixers.
Well, if we bought them then, yeah. If we bought them then, yeah.
Funny. Yeah, I look, I really see basketball as the guys that accept who they are and how they can play are the people that become successful. Like, it's so hard teaching kids, or not, it's not even teaching kids, but coaching kids. Like, it's like getting them to do what they do best. Like, and accept the fact that like they're not gonna dunk, you know what I mean? Or you're not gonna like the big heavy kid that wants to shoot threes. It's like, dude, you really help the team out more if you would stand down low and rebound. You know what I mean? Like, can you help out? Can you play positions we need you at? Like, I still think that like teams need the roles to be played. Point guard should be bringing it up. You need the shooting guard out wide, kick wide, shoot forward, kicked out wide. My power forward is trying to run from the box to the foul line to the box, like in a triangle. My center can do whatever he wants. They play their positions. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I see in my head on offense. And on defense, kids today, for the record, hate zone defense. They hate the 2-3, and they hate the 3-2. They hate the 2-3 because the 2-3 is boring. And you can always kick it around fast enough to get a 3 off because there's only 2 guards wide. And kids hate 3-2. They hate 3-2 because it's the same thing. When you kick it, the first kick, if the kid catches it in the corner and instead of going back to the point, he goes cross court, that guy's always open. So as the kids get older and they get taller and bigger and stronger, they can make that pass really easy. So they stopped playing 3-2 because the minute they went there, they just and the older kid gets it, shoots it. So
what do they play?
Man.
All the time?
Yeah, all the time. Man, it's a lazy man. It's a lazy man. Dude, it's played like this though in college now. I've seen, dude, you don't know. It's coming. The college, the way they're playing, these kids are playing, the high school kids, the new ones. Like the kid that's on my team, the one I drafted that made that amazing dunk the other night. What's his name? He was the first pick of the draft. I took him in
Minnesota from Bryant.
Minnesota, yeah.
Is it Edwards?
Yeah, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
I was watching a video on him when he was in high school and all that stuff and how he plays. He's another one of those lazy defense guys. Like on offense, he's incredible, but on defense, he's like that lazy man. Like I can't explain it. It's like you're there, but I'm there, but I'm not really near you or bumping you or on you. I'm just lazy, like running with you. It's like a friendlier man. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like back in the day, you were near somebody, you bump them if you're near them. Remember Robin was always hitting people to get position? They don't do that. They don't do that anymore. I don't see people fighting for position. I know I'm sounding old. I'm really sounding old tonight.
I will say, King, though, there's one team right now in the NBA that's playing old school basketball. And to me, there's no coincidence that they're the best team in the West right now. That's a team that plays their positions.
Yep.
You look up and down that starting lineup. No superstars.
Utah.
No big egos. No max players.
Yep.
No trade exemption players. It's just, it's almost like, Hoosiers. Like, seriously, 4 passes before you shoot.
Yeah.
It winning ball games, folks.
Yeah. Now, I had a list of like a bunch of teams I wanted to bring up and just get opinions on. They're the first one because they're still getting no respect.
No.
What I hear, it's not universal. Nothing's ever absolute. But the most predominant thing I hear is, yeah, they're awesome, have a great regular season, but they'll never get through the LA teams. I'll probably be cheering for them because I would love to see them blow through the Clippers and the Lakers and just say, let's start playing basketball again. But what do you think, King? You think they can get through? And Ray, what do you think? Do you think they're strong enough to actually get through?
I definitely think they can beat the Lakers. I definitely think they can beat the Lakers, and I definitely think they can beat the Clippers. I think if they keep playing the same basketball they're playing now, if they just keep playing the way they're playing now, you can't beat them. Like when a team has a style that works, like when the Spurs went on that run where it was like you're just not going to stop them. Yeah. When they click and they're doing something that no one else can keep up with, it's over. And I think the Jazz are playing both ends. Like, how can I explain it? They know each other. It's weird. Like they're trying really hard. They're trying really hard in the regular season to get that going. And I think that's going to pay off. Like they're building up for the playoffs, which is what you're supposed to do. You don't just turn it on when the playoffs start. Like you want to come into the playoffs, like be that team that's like just raring to go. That's what you want, I would think.
Yeah, they're playing team basketball. I mean, they play like a team. They're out there for each other. It shows in the way they play. It's not a bunch of egos. It's not about one guy. Their bench has been really strong. That organization has been consistent for several years now. They have one of the best organizations in the NBA. You look at the way they draft, you look at the free agents they sign, they always make smart decisions. Mitchell was a great pick where they got him. I was screaming for the Sixers to take him, screaming. They've done a really good job. That front office is solid, top to bottom. And if they keep playing the way they are, and I don't see why they wouldn't be able to keep this up.
That's what I feel. That's how I think about it also. And the last thing I'll say on them, which was a very, very good compliment, was from Brad Stevens, obviously the coach of the Celtics. He said they reminded him of like the 2013-14 Spurs, where they're just whipping the ball around and they just tire you out, and and they're always taking good shots, like you were saying, right? Like the 4 passes before a shot, and just exhausting the defenses, and then having like an open jumper, and So I hope we're right, because I would love to see them smoke either one of the LA teams and say, like, it's not about just putting some stars together. Like team basketball can still do it. So
it's the Nets you want to see them beat.
Yeah.
The Nets and the Jazz in a 7-game series would be phenomenal. It really would. That's a series I would be like, oh, dude, we all got to go watch it. Like, that'd be a great friggin' series to watch, because that is literally like the opposite ends of the spectrum. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I despise the Nets. Like, I was looking at the this weekend. There's no games because it's All-Star Weekend, but it's not All-Star Weekend, man. It's Team LeBron versus Team Durant.
What is that?
What is that? What is that? That's not. It's the West versus the East. We all know what it is. Don't take away the what's good about it. The All-Star game was the All-Star game. It's not my fault that they decided to not care and just want to shoot threes last couple of years, making a joke out of it. So now it's freaking Team LeBron versus Team Durant.
Well, I don't. I still don't get it. So, when did that switch happen? Was this isn't the first year, right? And what? So I can pick players out of any conference, right? So if it's Team Genius versus Team Brother Ray, he could pick anyone he wants. It doesn't matter.
If they did this back in the day, players would be like, fuck that, I'm gonna stay home.
Yeah.
Thank you. That every one of them. There's no way. I would be, fuck that. I ain't playing that. I'm staying home.
Can you see Bill Lambier wearing a jersey that said Team Bird on it?
Team Magic, Team Bird. Yeah, right? Like,
Yeah.
Barkley's going to come. They're not going to do that.
No.
Or if the draft worked out, like the West and the East hated each other. Could you like Pistons playing with Lakers or Celtics playing with Lakers because they're on team Isaiah? Like that would never happen. I would never want to watch that. It wouldn't even be suggested because it would seem so dumb. We'd be like, what do you mean the West hates the East? Why are we? Yeah, it's crazy.
First of all, it's not crazy. It's so lame, man. It's so freaking lame. I think that's the worst problem. That's the problem I have. Things nowadays that are thought to be really cool are lame. They just don't have it. They don't come up. They're just not cool. Like it's like I want it to be cool, but how is that cool? I know I'm old, but that's not cool. Team LeBron versus Team Durant. Give me a break. I could have swore that they used to play the All-Star game in their own jerseys from their own teams, and you could never tell it was.
I don't remember that.
I believe there was a time, and I'm going to look this up, where there wasn't like West and East jerseys. They had their own, like if you were the Hawks, you had like a Hawk front to the jersey. And maybe the sides were blue, but it was like your own team logo on the front. Does anybody remember that?
I don't. But...
You just remember solid East versus West colors? All right, I'm going to find the one I'm talking about. But I just remember the very boring East-West colors. Yeah. But didn't the game mean something? Or, I don't know. They just played harder, but I thought they did.
And the other thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm remembering incorrectly. I didn't really care that much who made the All-Star team and who didn't. Now there's been weeks of chatter about who's going to make it and who's not, and it was this person slight. There was a little of that, I thought, but it seemed like I listened to a lot of NBA shows, and they've been talking about it for 2 weeks, and I don't remember that. And they were, one thing they did say that I thought made sense is I guess NBA rosters are 15, maybe expand the All-Star roster to 15 because it's still stuck at 12. I could see that, but I still don't remember being all frustrated. When somebody did make it, I was like, okay, cool, move on. But they've been talking about it for literally 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, there was no social media to bitch about it back then, and people bitch about anything. But also back then, I felt like certain people were like locks as all-stars. Like certain people you rooted for, there was no doubt that unless they were hurt, you know what I mean, all year that they weren't going to make it. But like now, yeah, the voting's done in. I don't even like. I'm gonna call this grumpy. Like, over to you, Ray. Before I say something more, that's more grumpy.
Well, let me vent. Since we're on fantasy basketball leagues, Jimmy Butler should not be an all-star. The guy plays 10 games a year. 10 games a year. The guy takes more rest days than a senior citizen. It's ridiculous. Like. This guy's going to be an all-star. Yeah. I mean, he's never on the floor. Like these guys, all of them. I mean, I can go down the list, but I mean, how many rest days does Jimmy Butler need? And now he's what? He's a first ballot all-star? Come on.
Oh man.
Come on.
He took advantage of the rest policy. Jimmy Butler's abusing the rest policy, in my opinion. Yeah. Dude, Shaq could get rest days. Oh my God! Imagine if Barkley was allowed rest days.
He'd weigh about 425 pounds if Barkley had rest days.
Hammered all the time. He'd gamble his shirt off his fucking back.
Yeah.
Sean Kemp was given rest days.
Oh.
Imagine the amount of women that'd be pregnant. Oh my God. Sean Kemp would impregnate a city. Jesus Christ.
Oh man.
Just the Pistons in general, the 80s Pistons. Imagine if a rest day for those fucking guys. Like mayhem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, all right. So going into the second half of the season, right? Who do you like for MVP? And don't give me LeBron right now. I don't. I just in general, he's not maybe the leading guy, but I don't want to hear his name mentioned right now. Somebody other than LeBron, that you think may make a run for the MVP, or is the MVP and is gonna just coast away with it. I'll say right up front really quick that I like the center. What's his name? The one that I have.
Embiid.
No. The one the center I have.
Jokic.
The other center I have.
Jokic?
Yeah,
yes.
Jokic.
Love him. Love the way he plays. Love that kid. Love the way he plays. It's like I thought that a couple of years ago he wasn't gonna be good. I thought we everybody made a decision he's not gonna be good. I made that decision, and all of a sudden now the last couple of years he's really good. So like, what happened? Well, how did he go from me thinking he'll never be good to me going like this kid could be really good? Like he's got crazy numbers right now in today's NBA. Like wow, right? Any thoughts? How he gets?
He's elite. I mean, he's the best shooting center out there. Technically, I mean, he can hit threes. Prolific 3-point shooter. He's got post-up game. He can run the floor. He can handle the ball. He can play the one. I mean, there are times in games where he's the one. He's taking the ball down the floor. So, I mean, there isn't a center in the game that can really do what he can do. I mean, Embiid can shoot a three now and then, even though I yell at him every time he does it. He can shoot threes, but I mean, Jokic can handle the ball. I mean, he can dribble. He can pass. He's probably the best assist guy of all the centers. I mean, he's averaging over 5 assists a game. I mean, he's one of the guys right now. The other guy I would put in that conversation would have to be Embiid, only because of the way he's carrying that team right now. And I will give him credit this year. He's playing a lot more than he needs to play. He's skipping a lot of the rest days that he would normally take. And he just looks better on the floor. He's running up and down, and I give Doc credit for that. But Jokic right now is definitely playing better. And he doesn't get the respect come from that market.
Yeah, I mean, he's having a phenomenal season. Like you said, he's hitting he's over 40% for 3-pointers. He's over eight assists a game. He's 8.5 assists a game. He's 11 rebounds a game. The only knock on him right now is he doing too much? Is he because he's on offense because his defense is not that great. They need to they have a couple of injured guys back. A couple of injured guys they need back to defend the rim. But Jokic, it would be hard to argue against. But my dark horse right now is Doncic in Dallas. I think they're going to keep coming on. They're over 500 now, and I think I think he could make a run. I don't know if he passes Jokic, but he would be my dark horse.
Yeah, Luka, you definitely make a run for it, especially if his team comes along with them. You know what I mean? He's that kind of kid. If they get going with him, he can make a run. Ray, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think Luka is. I mean, he's the future of the NBA. I mean, he's fantastic. Does it all. Probably the best. I mean, passer probably in the game right now, arguably. The one guy that we're not talking about is the Greek freak. Giannis.
Yeah.
I mean, we just forget about him because he's just a triple-double every night, and it's like, oh well, let's be honest. But I mean, lately he is absolutely tearing it up. Like he's absolutely off the board right now, and it's just like, oh hum, that's Giannis. So I think he hurts because of that, and the fact that he's in Milwaukee. And the fact that he's just a humble guy. He's truly a humble superstar.
So, all right. So here's the thing with that kid. All right. And I watched him and I figured it out. It is a bit boring. And I know this sounds dumb. People are going to be, what do you mean he's boring? Hear me out. He's got a couple of moves where, well, Ray didn't want to hear me out.
I guess not. Well, so ends the return of Brother Ray.
Yeah, right.
Through 54 minutes of an NBA show. Good job, King.
You don't hear me out. What I wanted to say is Giannis has a move where it's literally just like 2 moves. He catches it, moves his 1 foot, his next foot, and then he dunks it. It's like it's like a praying mantis walking across the court. It's like something that no one else can do. You didn't want to hear me out. All right. What I was saying is that Giannis has a move where it's literally just like he takes 2 long steps and dunks. It's like a move from the foul line that no one else can do. But it's like boring. He's not like Luka's like running around, score. He scores from anywhere. He'll score anyhow. He's more exciting for me to watch just in the way he's playing. Embiid I like too because he's talking, he's doing stuff. Giannis is so good but he does it in such a way that it's so dominant that it's not that interesting. It's not. I don't know. It's not basketball as much. Yeah. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. And
dominant.
Yeah, the thing that's the strangest part of it, like what Brother Ray said, nobody talks about them. Like when you talk about the East, you hear people talk about the Sixers, the Nets. There's just this assumption that the Bucks will be up there, and we don't have to talk about them. It's very, very strange because I was listening to something else, and they're like, oh, the Nets project to come the 2 spot, and the Nets and the Sixers project to fight it out for the 2 spot, and they're blah 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 back and forth. I'm like, they didn't once mention Milwaukee. I'm like, so you're just giving them the 1, and you don't even want to talk about it. It's kind of it's very, very strange. I don't think I've seen it like that for like just they're not even worth talking about. They're gonna get the 1 seed. Giannis is gonna have his numbers, and we'll see what happens in the playoffs. Very, very odd.
He's a bit boring. Yeah. He is he plays. You know what I mean? But I don't know.
Yeah. So quick thing on the Bucks. One of the firms I worked for when I was in New York, it was a hedge fund, and one of the 5 partners was Wes Eden. So when he bought the Bucks, he gave us all he gave everyone in the company Bucks sweatshirts and Bucks other stuff, and it was like, we're going to turn this thing around. Obviously, the investment, the hedge fund I was working for had nothing to do with it besides the fact that Eden bought into it. But it's really cool to see a few years later. 5 or so years later, how much they have been turned around, because you're kind of like, oh, here's all these finance assholes. They're not going to make any difference, and obviously they have.
Yeah, and that was a great team. The Bucks were a really good team in the '80s. I mean, it was the Sixers, Celtics, and Bucks. I mean, with Sidney Moncrief. So it is good to see them back on top.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry.
I'll say maybe for the next show, I'll if I can find it, I'll wear my Bucks gear.
There you go.
Your Bucks flag. All right, hey, Brother Ray, it was great having you back for 2 shows. Good to have you back with the website and the channel. We got to get some other people we know that have their own podcast, right? That we find interesting, and get them to come on to our platform. There's more room for other people in their podcast for us to broadcast. So if you know anybody or anybody's listening, and of course they'd have to pass our approval of at least 1 show. I'm not gonna give it to some jerk who he's a dick the whole time. That'd be the worst thing we could do. Hey, did you hear the guy you put on last night? No, why? What happened?
No, what happened?
You know what I mean? Oh boy. But yeah, so it's going fun, and the ghost paranormal things is a blast. Those guys, every one of those guys are really good guys. Didn't he look like Kenny?
Yeah, a little bit. I was
back and whatnot. You look like Kenny.
Yeah. I got some good feedback on him. The people that I talked to, that I asked to watch the show, were very, very positive on him, on Kevin Hart. Very, very positive.
What did they think about the ghost voice?
Well, they loved it. That was the whole thing. But they thought
it's legit ghost voice.
Yeah. Buddy got a lot of good reviews also. Joe was working the camera, so you couldn't really see him. But Buddy and Kevin got a lot of good feedback. Kevin adds a level of credibility to the whole thing. He's very, very buttoned up, and he's got the high tech tools and everything. So yeah, the feedback was really positive.
Yeah, I mean, it was unbelievable. This is an unbelievable moment, but we're getting bigger, which is great, and I'm enjoying that, right? And we're adding more characters, and we got Brother Ray back. So with TJ and, you know, Buddy and all them, we got a really good group of people, and the shows have been doing really well. I guess I'm just saying I'm happy with it on this cold March tonight. I'm freezing my ass.
It's cool.
So you guys got anything you want to say before I wrap it up? And sun's on our way, right?
No, just great to be back. Glad everything's going well with the show and the website and all the channels, and looking forward to keep producing some really good content.
Genius.
I'll agree with everything Brother Ray said, and welcome him back, and looking forward to the weekend shows.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So, for me, Mike Lepre, for the Genius Kev, for Brother Ray, this was Legit Fantasy Basketball on legitfantasysports.com. Thank you all. See you on Monday.